Hello everyone, I'm RiverFox and welcome back to the channel, and today we are going to be taking a look at our Director Rigs hero. Now you can get your Director Rigs by completing your Yarr's Return mini questline. The second mission from the end is where you will actually receive him. Now if for any reason you do get stuck on any of the questline missions, then do check out, there will be a link in the playlist down below. It will cover all of the videos in the Yarr's Return questline, but they're pretty straightforward, so I can't see you getting any problems completing them. So for our Director Rigs then, he does come with a standard perk of Direct Threat. Going Constructor eliminations extend its duration by 1 second up to a maximum of 10 eliminations. And as a commander perk, it will extend the duration by 2 seconds. Now for his abilities, he does have Going Constructor, Bull Rush and Rosy abilities. Now for the purpose of this review, we are going to mainly be going on the Going Constructor ability, because that is pretty much the best ability out of them. And with this we have a cooldown of 60 seconds, a hammer which deals 227,124.5 physical damage per hit, and shield that reduces 95% damage from the front and lasts 16 seconds. So that is our abilities. So for our hero Loadout, we have gone with Director Rigs in Commander slot. For the team perk, we have got Happy Holidays to increase our ability and be able to use it a bit more. And for the support team, we have got Unearthly Treat, Ghoulish Cackle, Bouncy Shield, Space Technology and Monster Smash. So that is our loadout. This is our Director Rigs. We're going to get straight into a 140 mission and let's see just how good or bad our Director Rigs does in the field. So I will see you in a second. Okay, so I did test it out in a few various different scenarios. We started off with some encampments just to see how well it would fare against those. And it wasn't too long into my testing that it quickly became apparent that the initial loadout that we set out just wasn't working too well. So what I did do, I did change the Space Technology hero for the Survivalist hero instead. I will pop the new loadout on the screen for you now, because with Survivalist, when you do get eliminations, it will give you some amount of health back. And I found without the Survivalist, I was just dying pretty much straight away. No matter what you did, you would just be dead, and it wasn't working. So I changed it up. We put Survivalist in, and it does work now so much better. With the Constructor and the Going Constructor ability, the only sort of downside I think to it is that it works best when the husks are coming directly at you. If they do attack you from the sides or from behind, then they will still cause you damage, and you can still get taken out pretty easily. So it is so much better if you can get them coming directly at you in one direction, and that way you can use the ability better. Now it does come with another ability in the Going Constructor where you can block damage from husks. So this will work pretty well on blasters, and especially the aimbot zapper husks as well. It will, to a certain degree, it will stop you taking damage from them. But of course, if they do get you from the sides or any other direction apart from the front, it will still cause you damage. So there is that downside to it. Now I did test it out on smashers as well, And one thing that I have found is this ability does work so much better in conjunction with your slow field, because the slow field then, of course, it slows all of those husks down, so they are not going to be attacking you as quick as they normally would, and you can then use your going constructor ability a lot better. So it is recommended to use it in conjunction with the slow field, and especially for smashers it will work pretty well. Now, I did find on the smashers that it doesn't stop if the smasher is already going to do is hammer fist on you. It does not stop that. So the going constructor is not so good on that. You do have to keep sort of adjusting yourself to get out of the way of the smasher's attack. But once you have, it does do some pretty decent damage. Now, for damage numbers, you will average around about 113,000 damage. If you're lucky, you might be able to get sometimes 250, 260,000 damage. And if you're really lucky and manage to get that crit on the ability, then you can very occasionally get the 500,000 damage. But I didn't seem to get that very often at all. It seemed to be mostly the 113,000 damage. Now, I did also do some testing as well on a 140 storm chest, and again, use those other abilities with it. Don't just use the going constructor. Make sure you do use the bull rush and of course the Rosie ability as well. And it did actually work pretty okay against the 140 storm chests. But definitely I do think that with this loadout, the only sort of downsides with it is that all the while you are using the going constructor ability, you can't do anything else. You can't pick anything up. So once you've completed your encampment, you can't go and collect your rewards. You can't pick anything else up. You can't do anything else at all the while the going constructor ability is in working. So it can be a bit of a nuisance in that respect. And also, as I said, if they do attack you from other directions apart from the front, it doesn't work as well. But definitely for any husks that are coming at you in a straight line, so if you're in your storm shields or your endurance and anything that is coming through a trap tunnel, then they will all be heading in that one direction, and this ability then would work extremely well in those circumstances. They just don't work quite as well for husks that are coming at you from every angle. And they've obviously spent quite a lot of time on the voice lines for our Director Riggs, because he does have quite a lot of voice lines as well. So unlike some of the other heroes that we have had recently, where they've got barely any voice lines at all, Director Riggs does have quite a lot of voice lines, so it is worthwhile keeping an ear out for those. They are good. So for my cop it or drop it review of Director Riggs, the good points are that it does do some pretty decent damage. It can be pretty good, especially if you use it in trap tunnels. The down points, I think, are that it does take a little bit too long for the cooldown to reset. Even with the Happy Holiday set on there, once you have finished the ability and the ability has run out, you still have around about a 35 or 40 second before it will reset. So it does take a little bit too long in my opinion. And if you are in any other scenario where husks are going to be coming at you from all sides, then it's not as effective in my opinion. So I do think they need to either boost the speed that you can move when you use the ability, or they need to be able to cause a lot more damage with the ability. That is my only downside to it. But for my review, my cop it or drop it, I think I would definitely recommend you do get it. It does need a bit of work, and hopefully we're going to get some other heroes coming out at some point which will boost and increase this ability. But I think I'm going to give it a score of 7. And I would recommend that you do get this hero, especially if you do like constructors and if you like to use the constructor abilities, then this definitely is recommended. So I hope you do find this review useful. If you do, don't forget to hit that like down below, smash that subscribe before you go, and if you turn on the notification bell, then you will always get updated of all my content when it comes out. But until the next time, I hope you have a lovely day and stay safe, my friends.